Hello and welcome back to Usdjpy. This is another Forex weekly analysis. In this video, I will show you the weekly Forex trading analysis, trading on Gbpusd, Eurusd, Gbpjpy, Usdjpy, gold and NASI00. But before we dive in, I want us to go to last week analysis to have a look on what transpired last week. Let's go. So after high, what next? We'll be coming back for a higher low. This higher low, we don't know where this higher low will stop, but we'll go down to another time frame where we'll be looking at entry criteria. We'll go down to a higher time frame, a lower time frame, lower than this 4-hour time frame. So let's move down to a 1-hour time frame and see what happens. So yeah, so on a 1-hour time frame, we're also bullish on a 1-hour time frame. You can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we created another higher high. So we'll be glad to see this price slide into this zone. This is the area of interest on a 1-hour time frame. Okay, so if price come to this zone on a 1-hour time frame, we'll pick up a buy. Okay. So going forward this week, what do we expect? We are still bullish on Gbpusd this week. So we'll go straight to the 4-hour time frame and look at what is happening there, because nothing much has really changed. Okay. So last week we said that price come here that will take a buy, and that's exactly what happened. Price slid into this area and moving in our direction for about, from this zone to this zone is about 89 pips, call it 90 pips. So this week, what are we expecting this week? All right, this week we will wait, let this price, because currently this price is exhausted, okay, in going up. So let us see what will happen. But before we take any action, I would like to see price break and close above this zone, then let it slide in back into this zone. I will not use any of the institutional reference point, the fair value gap or the other block, to pick up a buy to the weekly resistance level, because we are still bullish on Gbpusd. But if for any reason price failed to break up and close above this zone and decide to do otherwise, okay, and decide to close and break below this zone, that means price want to trade bearish before going bullish. Okay, then we'll wait for price for a pullback and we'll take it to the next support level, probably at this zone. Okay, so that's our take on Gbpusd. The next pair on the list is Eurusd. And last week analysis, let's have a look at last week analysis. Zone here, there's another zone here, this fair value gap. So if price come down to this zone, we can move down to a smaller time frame and look out for what? A shift in market structure. Okay, if price slide into this zone, we'll look for a shift in market structure. If it happen at this zone, we'll buy from this zone. If it happen at this zone, we'll buy from this zone. So this is how we're taking a buy on Eurusd. Meanwhile, our stop loss will be below the zone based on the market structure, and our target will be the weekly resistance level. That's where we'll be picking up this. All right, so Eurusd price came into our zone and moving slightly, though we didn't enter this pair because when price came to our zone, we didn't see any change of character towards bullish. Let's have a look at it. So this is the 1-hour time frame. Last week we said that when price come to this zone, we'll look for a change of character before we buy. Unfortunately, when price slide into this zone, price continue moving down, thereby breaking and closing below this zone, creating a change of character on a 1-hour time frame. You can see it. Hold on. There is a change of character here on this 1-hour time frame. All right. So going forward this week, because in a higher time frame we are still bullish. Going forward this week, what are we expecting? We are expecting that price should close and break this zone. Let price break this zone. Okay, if price break above this zone, we will look for what? A wait for a pull back towards the institutional reference point. Could be the fair value gap or the other block. We'll pick up a buy towards the weekly resistance level. So this might take on Euro USD. But for any reason price decide to close below, that means we'll go bearish this week before going bullish. If for any reason price decide to break a structure here, hold on. If for any reason price decide to break and close below this zone, thereby breaking this structure, that means price want to go bearish this week before going bullish, because overall time frame, weekly time frame, daily time frame, we are still going bullish. So these are two ways we will take action on Euro USD. So the next pair on our list is Gbpjpy. So let's have a look at Gbpjpy. That will determine what we do at this zone. If price break above this zone, that means we are moving up. We wait. If price break above this zone, okay, we will now move to 15 minutes time frame and wait for a pullback and we'll take a buy. So this 15 minutes time frame. All you need to do is to do what? Wait for price action, break above this zone to create another leg of higher high. Then price come back, we use either other block or fair value gap at any of these traditional reference point that price will create here, and we pick up a buy, okay, and we'll go up. All right, on Gbpjpy, we say that we expected to see a shift in structure here at this zone on a 4-hour time frame. Then on 15 minutes time frame, we'll take a buy, and that is exactly what happened last week. And you can see that price move in to our direction as we analyze. Price move into our direction as we analyze. So those of you that watched my last week YouTube analysis should have made enough money. Let me check how many pips. This is close to 370 pips. All right. So this week, what are we expecting this week? Now, look at this zone. This zone is the highest point that this price has tested on this 4-hour time frame. Okay. So what we are waiting for now is to see this price move from this zone and break and close above this zone. That means the daily bias is still intact, because in daily we are still bullish. So if this 4-hour can close above this zone, we'll wait for what? A pullback into the institutional reference point and pick up our buy using the fair value gap or the other block and take a buy, okay, to the next resistance level. But if for any reason price decide to close below this zone, that means we are going bearish. If for any reason price decide to close below this green bar, hold on. So this is our trading zone. If any reason price decide to close below this zone, that means we want to go bearish this week. We'll wait for it for a pullback and we'll take it at least to this zone, to around 184,600. Okay, so this is our take on Gbpjpy. The next pair on our list is Usdjpy. So Usdjpy didn't actually happen in our analysis the way we expected this last week. But this week, what are we expecting? Because if you look at this daily time frame, the only thing you can see currently is that this thing is still bearish on a daily time frame. We are still bearish on a daily time frame. Then let's go to 4-hour time frame and see what is happening there. All right, on a 4-hour time frame, we have two zones, and these zones are what will determine what will happen this week. Okay, last week there was not much movement last week because price was at this zone last week. We said that if price break below, we'll wait for it and continue selling, but rather price continue going up. Okay, now what are we expecting going forward? Two things will take this trade if these two things happen. If this price break this zone now, this current zone, it breaks it this way, we wait for it on a pullback using the institutional reference point here, or we join it and take it up to the next resistance level. Okay, so this is our first point of action. Okay, then the next point of action is this: if price break this zone, not this one, this green bar, if price break this zone, that means the price want to go turn to bearish this week. But remember, in 4-hour time frame we are bullish. But if price break and close below this green bar, that means we'll go bearish this week. Wait for it on a pullback and we'll do what? We'll continue sliding it down. Okay, so these are how we take action on Usdjpy. So the next pair on the list is gold. Gold is next pair on the list, and on the daily time frame we are still bullish, judging from our last week's scenario analysis. We are still bullish, nothing has changed. But let's go to our entry time frame. Let's go to 1-hour time frame. So in 1-hour time frame, we notice that we have turned bearish on a 1-hour time frame, and we are targeting to buy. So at this point in time, we will not take this buy. We'll wait, let price break and close below above here. If price close below above this zone, we'll start looking for a buy. On a pullback, we'll take it to the daily resistance level. Okay, that's the first point of call. Then alternatively, if price fail to close above that zone but close below this green bar, that means we'll go bearish this week. You see this bar, this is our last low now. If price closes, that means we have broken a structure, and we'll come back here for a pullback and we'll take a sell to this support level. Okay, all right, around 31.27 ounce. So that is our expectation on gold. All right, the next pair on the list is NAS100. NAS100 didn't come back to our zone last week because we expected NAS100 to come back to our zone, but rather price continue going up. We expected that price should come back to this zone, but price didn't come back here. Price continue going up. So let's go back to daily time frame to see what is actually happening. Let's remove this. So on a daily time frame, you notice that price has come into a fair value gap, and as immediately price tap into the fair value gap, it gave us a bearish engulf candle. That was on Thursday. Okay, so now going forward, what are we expecting? Let's go down to 1-hour time frame. Let me show you. So on a 1-hour time frame, this zone you are seeing here is the daily zone, the fair value gap on a daily time frame. This zone is the fair value gap on a daily time frame. Okay, and this was the last higher low, and currently price has closed below this higher low. You can see it, price has closed below this higher low up to this level. So we're expecting that price is going back to go and use any of these institutional reference points. There's also a fair value gap here. Let me highlight these things. Let me put it so that we see it. If price come into this zone, there's a zone here. There's a fair value gap here. This is 1-hour time frame. So these are zone that we're picking up a sell, and the other block, this other block. So these two zones are our entry point of interest. So let price slide into this zone and we'll pick up a sell. Let price slide into this zone, we'll pick up a sell. On a confirmation, our confirmation will go to another lower time frame. Look out for a change of a shift in market structure. Okay, and we'll take a sell. So this is our take on the price that we have looked at this week. So if this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to YouTube channel, like and subscribe, because if you subscribe to my channel, you avail yourself opportunity to see this kind of videos next time. And I have a free telegram channel where I drop signals once in a while, at least once every week. I drop signals that is a free signals. Take advantage of it See you guys in my next episode. Share.